Welcome to Ogle's channel. Thanks for watching today, and let's talk about a retro classic that's finally getting released and the I guess the attention that it deserves. And the game I'm talking about is a game called Gimmick, or if you're in the West, it's usually referred to as Mr. Gimmick. Now, I've never got to play Mr. Gimmick because it was released in Japan and the Scandinavian region back in the early 90s on the NES, and it never came to the United States. And I can't sit here and say like I knew all about Mr. Gimmick growing up and what I was missing out on. But, you know, as the years gone by, I've heard about Mr. Gimmick, and I've seen some people play it on different channels and whatnot, and it looks like a really good game to play. Now, the story of Mr. Gimmick is you are this little green little spirit here, and you're given as a gift to this little girl, and she thinks you're a toy, and all the other toys get jealous of you because you're, you know, the most loved toy. Sounds like Toy Story a little bit. But anyway, the other toys, they get so jealous that they actually kidnap the girl, take her off to this, I guess, mystery land or whatnot. And it's your job to try to go and rescue the girl and fight against all these toys that have kidnapped her. It's a unique little story. I've never seen one quite like it, except for, like I said, a little bit of Toy Story at the beginning. But overall, a cool little story. Now, what people really love about this game is going to be the mechanics of the game. In the game, you have this little star above your head, which is like your weapon, and you get to throw the star, and you only get one star at a time until it disappears, and it bounces around the stage, hitting the enemies. However, the physics of that star are evidently something to really write home about. Depending on how far or how high you're jumping in the air when you throw the star, depends on the speed of the star. If you're, you know, in a downward motion, the star gets a little bit faster. And there's a lot of different ways to, you know, maneuver on how fast the star goes and how it takes out the enemies in the surroundings. But not only that, they actually say the physics of Mr. Gimmick are some of the most solid on the NES as far as like replicating actual movement. Like when you jump, you don't just simply land and stay in one spot. You actually move a little bit, and I've seen some instances where some of the enemies do the same thing. I've also heard that the difficulty level on this is pretty challenging. You only get so many lives on here, and you don't really get a lot of chances, and there's also like different items you have to collect in order to get like special endings, but you can't continue in the game to get that special ending. And they say the game is not impossible, but very, very difficult. But when the re-release comes out, of course, I'll do a full breakdown on the difficulty and the overall game in general. So let's talk about this re-release that is coming out. It's called Gimmick Special Edition, or I guess maybe Mr. Gimmick when it comes out to the West Special Edition. And all I can say is I hope this is not like the Snow Brothers Special Edition. I hope they actually do a real edition of this game and hold it to the original, which it really does look like they're doing, because all the footage that they've showed in the trailer here is the exact gameplay that we have from the original NES game way back in the day. It even says normal mode in the upper left hand corner, so I don't really know if there's going to be like a special mode, like with enhanced graphics and things like that. They didn't show anything except for the normal mode in the trailer, and their website also doesn't mention anything except normal mode, and so I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to do when it's not in normal mode, but there's some things on the website that do elaborate what exactly is included in this special edition of Gimmick. It says Gimmick Special Edition includes brand new bonus features such as achievements, time attack mode, save, load, and rewind functions, a gallery mode, and more. A physical edition will also be available, published by our free mode friends at Clear River Games. The developer of Gimmick Special Edition, City Connection, is handling the publishing of the game in Japan. So that gives us a little bit better idea of what's included in the game. I mean, most of these reissues do have that rewind function, save, load function. That's pretty standard when it comes to these retro game re-releases. Time attack or time achievement, that's a little bit different, and it does say more on there as well. So who knows exactly what's going to come into special edition, but I say, judging from what they've said here, if this is the highlights of it, we're probably not going to get a lot of bonus features. It's just more the idea that we are finally getting the game of Gimmick over here in the West, and you don't have to actually play like a hacked version or a ROM version of the game in order to play it. But honestly, the game looks really fun. I love these challenging retro games, and like I said, I never got to play this game growing up because it wasn't released in the United States. So the idea that there's an actual NES game out there that's supposed to be a really good quality NES game I never got to play, I'm really darn excited about it. And the company behind it, Sunsoft, I didn't even mention that. They made some classics on the NES, like the Batman game, the Blaster Master, and even on the N64, that's the company behind Chameleon Twist, which was also a fantastic game. So Sunsoft has some quality work behind them, so I'm really excited to see what this cult classic Gimmick is going to be like when it finally does get released with a special edition, and it is coming out this year. They didn't give an actual release date, but they did say later this year, and it's already August. So I'm going to probably guess like November. Otherwise, they probably give an actual release date. November or December is my prediction for when this game is coming out. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for Mr. Gimmick, or I'm sorry, just Gimmick, when it finally does come out? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you ever played the game, let me know what you think about the game already. But as always, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, go out there, find a great game to play. Just simply have a great rest of the day.